Books like He Who Fights with Monsters, sorted by what actually hooked you. You've caught up on Jason Asano, and now you're waiting like everyone else. 3 read-alikes sorted by which part of Who Fights with Monsters you were really there for. Plus 1 I have a stake in. He Who Fights with Monsters is a dozen books deep with another on the way, which is a wonderful problem, until you finish the newest one at 1 a.m. and work out that the next one is a year off. Then you go looking, and every list hands you the same 20 titles in the same order, with nothing said about why any of them should work for you specifically. He Who Fights with Monsters is doing 3 things at once, and readers love it for different ones. Some are there for Jason's mouth. Some are there for the ability screens and the legible click of a rank going up. Some are there for the pages where the banter drops out, and somebody has to live with what just happened. Pick the wrong read-alike, and you get one of those and none of the others. So here they are, sorted by which of those you came for. If you came for the voice and the escalation, Azarinth Healer. Rhaegar's Azarinth Healer is the closest structural cousin He Who Fights with Monsters has. Modern person yanked into a brutal magical world with an explicit system attached, then a very long climb through it. It started on Royal Road and is 7 books into print so far. The pull is Aaliyah. She's blunt, she's dry, and she meets escalating horror with the enthusiasm of someone who has finally found her hobby. Where Jason talks his way through a problem, Aaliyah walks into it and starts punching. The book stays honest about what a decade of that does to her. The system is crunchy and the numbers are on the page. It escalates hard, then keeps escalating well past the ceiling most series would have hit. Fair warning, it's rougher than He Who Fights with Monsters at the sentence level, especially early, and it gets very violent. If what you're chasing is Jason's dry running commentary while everything burns, this is your next one. If you came for the system paying out, the path of ascension. Some readers stay with He Who Fights with Monsters because of the drip. There's always a new rank, a new essence combination, a new ability you can see coming 3 chapters out, and the book pays it off when it said it would. 12 books of that without the promises going stale is much harder than Shirtaloon makes it look. Sea Mantis's The Path of Ascension is built around that pleasure, and it's 6 books in. It's set in a stable, functioning empire with a formal advancement ladder, so you can read the whole climb from chapter 1, the tiers are visible, and so is what each one costs. It's also warmer than He Who Fights with Monsters. The cast is a crew that likes each other, and a lot of the page count goes to training and planning, with the crises spaced further apart. Read it if the sound you're chasing is the click of the ladder. Skip it if what you want is dread. If you came for the verdict he refuses to accept. Mark of the Fool. Jason keeps refusing to let atrocity become normal. He's dropped into a world with rules he never agreed to, and a fair amount of the series is him declining the role those rules assign him, out loud, at length, to people who outrank him. J.M. Clark's Mark of the Fool is built on the same refusal. Alex Roth gets branded with a mark that forbids him from fighting, and from most of what his world counts as a real life, and the book is him working around a label handed down without a hearing. It's still running. The magic is studied rather than granted, so a lot of his progress happens in a library. If you liked watching Jason argue with a world that had already decided about him, this is that argument again with the volume down. This one sits closer to progression fantasy than to stat screenlit RPG. If that distinction is fuzzy, the blog has a plain English version of it. That's the part I'd tell a stranger on a bus with nothing writing on it. The next one is mine, so weigh it accordingly. The one I have a stake in. 2 notes before the pitch. If you want the tonal opposite of everything above, Dungeon Crawler Carl will make you laugh out loud on a train and then gut you 6 pages later. And I wrote a comparison of where to start with it. That one's on the blog too. If what got you is the Earth Gets a System premise specifically, Defiance of the Fall and The Primal Hunter are the 2 to try next, and there's a fuller read-alike map on the blog. The Integration Era is a science fiction series about a world remade by an alien system nobody asked for. It arrives, switches on without warning, and starts measuring every person alive. 6 attributes and a designation. A verdict on who you are that it then goes about making true. Score high in frame, and it hardens your bones until the number is honest. 1 axis, and it's the only claim I'll make. He Who Fights with Monsters runs that engine at an adventurer. Integration era runs it at a job. Nobody in it gets isekai'd. Nobody gets a quest. The system switches on over an ordinary working world and starts scoring people who still have shifts to cover. A corporate technician who won't open her own stat screen. A conservator who takes damage off 80-year-old recordings. The numbers are permanent and physically real. What the books are about is going back to work on Monday in front of a number that knows exactly what you're worth. If you want more of that corner, the blog has a grounded shelf. If the He Who Fights with Monsters pages that stay with you are the ones after the fight, where somebody has to live with what just happened, start with Noise Floor. Riva restores degraded audio in an archive lab, which is careful work the system has never given her a single point for. Then a rift opens in the lab, and what comes through it is a broken signal in the shape of a monster. Under an hour, and it's free. Read Noise Floor free at integrationera.com. If it lands, sign up for the newsletter, and the next one arrives in your inbox the day it goes public. And you've already found the audio version of this post. The written one is on the blog if you'd rather read it. The Integration Era is a science fiction series about a world remade by an alien system nobody asked for. You've been listening to The Integration Era, stories by Charlie Foret. All content is copyright 2026 by Charlie Foret, all rights reserved. Voices produced by Speechify. New stories, world-building deep dives, character dossiers, and more are available now at integrationera.com. Subscribe to get notified when the next story drops. The system is watching. You might as well keep up.